Hi guys, welcome back to Totally Magic channel. It has been a long time since I've uploaded, so first things first, hope you're all keeping well at this time of the year as we lead into the end of 2024. Now you all know what this trick is because it says it in the title. It is the classic among magicians called the signed card to an envelope. Sometimes it's a wallet, but let's take a look at what we got. We do have the infamous envelope here, and inside is a card, but not the sort of card you're thinking it is. You see, it's not a playing card. If I open this up, you can see it's my business card. So inside here, nothing else in there, by the way, just a normal envelope with a business card in there. And I'm going to use this because I want you to mark it. I want you to sign this card. So if we put this back in and get you just to sign the back. So you get them to sign the card. Now the reason we're getting you to sign this is because some people think magicians might swap or exchange what's right in front of them. So with this marked card in there, nothing can be changed. Here's what I want you to do. Can you just check that that is sealed? Also look around this to check that there's no rips or tears or slits or cuts, secret passageways, trapdoors, anything like that. Just examine that thoroughly. And they really do examine that. Now we come to the playing cards. You see, I want you to mix these up. So give these to the spectator to shuffle, and they have a free choice of any of the cards, and they will shuffle these. Happy with that? So at this point, neither of us know what order the cards are in. We don't know what this one is, we don't know what this one or this one. But if we go through the cards like this, just call stop anywhere. Stop here. You sure you want this card here? Now I'm going to look away while you look at this, but I want you to remember that card. Have you got it? Okay, so now take the cards, give them a shuffle. Keep remembering your card. You see, I'm going to pick up the vibrations that you're emitting from thinking of that. Here is the envelope, nothing in the hands. I'm just going to put this in the pack like that. Now it doesn't look very magical. You see, the magic hasn't happened. This is the magic. Watch. It's happened. Now I know what you're thinking. What's happened? Well, remember you chose a card from a pack that you shuffled. You signed a card in here to ensure that we didn't change this. Look closely at this envelope. Nothing can get in or out. Ready to be amazed? Here we go. I'll open this up at fingertips. Inside here is the business card. Now, is it the same one? Is that your signature on the card? It is. There's the card in the envelope, but I want you to look closely. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There appears to be a playing card. Not just any card in here. What was your card for the first time? Nothing else in the envelope, by the way. What was your card? The Two of Hearts. And there is your chosen card, the Two of Hearts. I'm going to leave the pack with you. You can examine these. You'll find that if you count them, there's 51 cards, and this really is the missing card, and that is magic. Here is the tutorial for this classic card trick. Now, this variation is something that I came up with a number of years ago. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure over the past 200 years there's been lots of magicians that have thought of the same idea as well, but I've never seen it, so this, I say, is my idea of the classic card in envelope stroke wallet. Now, of course, there is no such thing as real magic, so how did the playing card they chose get into the envelope? Well, as you probably have guessed, there's two identical cards and we force the card onto them. That's it. So let me break it down to you. It's really quick and simple. The envelope is faked. I bought these little pay envelopes. You get a pack of about 100 for $1 or something like that. And I got two of them, like this. And on one of them, I just cut around the edge, which then gave me this. And I could then just slip this inside. It's a nice tight fit, by the way, because you want that. And so when you spread this, you can see it's invisible. You can't see it in there. So we've got a secret flap. What you do is you take any card from an old deck that matches the deck you're going to use. I've got the 8 of clubs here, and I slip this so it goes behind the flap, like that. So it's now inside here. At the front, I put a business card. Like that. Now there's two reasons that I use the business card. By the way, if you don't have business cards, you could just use a piece of card, but it's got to be a piece of card. And the reason being is when I first thought of this, I didn't have a card in there. The problem is when I got the spectator to examine the envelope, they could feel that there was something in there. So I thought if I put a business card in there, when I seal this down, after they've signed it and give it to them, they're going to feel the card because they assume it's the business card. And that's the great disguise of this. So you have the card. Now, the great thing about the card also is that as you pull this out, you can push down on it and squeeze the edges. So now you'll see that people can look in there and it looks empty. The card is behind the flap. So let me just go through this performance part. You open the envelope, you say to them, I've got this here, there's nothing else in there. Remember, they don't know what's coming next, so why would there be anything in there? You've shown them the business card, and we're going to get them to sign it. So you show them the business card. However, when you pull this out and put it back, it goes behind the flap with the playing card. Now, because you've got it like this, you've pulled it out, you've showed the card, you push it in, it's now going to go. I don't know if you can see it. If I squeeze this now, you can see that we can use the card to flip up the flap and push this in. It's difficult with the camera, but you can see that going in. I push it in and I say, I tell you what, let's get you to sign it. So at this point, everything seems normal. You turn it over, you give them a pen, they sign the back of your business card. You push it in, they can see it going in, you seal it down. Okay, lick it, seal it. If it's a sticky one, push it down there. Now at this point, you ask them to check the seal. They grab it. They can feel that there's your business card in there. That's it. So there's no suspicion. You ask them to check for any cuts or slits. It's just regular. This is great at this point. You're clean. The magic's done because all you've got to do now is to force the 8 of clubs onto them. Now, you can do this in several ways. I'm not going to show you how to force this. In fact, if you're new here and you're just getting into magic, what you could do is you could get the 8 of clubs on the top like this. You can do some shuffles this way. Now what I'm doing here is my fingers are keeping a grip of that card, the 8 of clubs at the back, and I'm just pulling off a chunk of cards at the front and shuffling, and then I put them down and I say, I want you to cut about half the cards. They cut. You say, now we're going to mark where you've cut. So we're doing a cross cut force. When you do this, you may, if you're going to go down this route, by the way, you may want to get them to examine the envelope at this point. So when you've sealed this, if you know you're going to do this force, put that down there, get them to do the cut. You say, well, mark where you've cut and we'll come back to it. Because you want to divert their attention away from what's happened there, they look at the envelope, they examine it, they put it back down. You then say, take a look at the card you cut to, and it's going to be that card. So forcing the card, on the routine, you'll notice that I did force it using this method where I had it on top. I pulled off the card and then I start to push cards like this. And they call stop. Now what's actually happening, there's that 8 of clubs there, and I'm just pushing the cards like this, and when they call stop like that, you square them up, show them the card, so you've forced the card. I'm sure all of you watching this have got your own way of forcing a card. Use whatever method that you're comfortable with, but the bottom line is you have to force the 8 of clubs in my case, or whatever card you've got duplicated in the envelope. All right. Couple of little side notes here. I know some of you are going to say, oh, can you get them to shuffle the cards like I did? Yes, you can. If they shuffled the cards, when I took them back, I could show them the cards and say, look, you can see they are a regular pack. There's the 8 of clubs. They're a regular pack and you've mixed them up. Yeah. I've now just cut the cards and put that back there. That's up to you. You don't have to get them to shuffle it. Some magicians will often palm off the card, give them the pack, they shuffle them. When you take them back, you add the card back on top. All right, whichever method you like. Now we've got that. If you want to leave the cards for examination, what I tend to do, because they've now chosen the card, I want to control it either to the top or the bottom, and what I would do is I would pull off that bottom card and say to them, I want you just to pick up the envelope, and I would then just get rid of this card here. Okay, you don't have to do this, by the way, but I like to get rid of that, because if I get rid of that, that means we got 51 cards here and their chosen card isn't there. Okay. You get them to shuffle the cards. It doesn't matter. They can lose it. You take the envelope, you put it in, you do some magic wand trick there. When you pull this out, open it cleanly, make sure they see your hands. You open it. Now when you reach in, you'll see the business card, first of all, and you pull this out, and you can just put a bit of pressure upwards so that when you squeeze the edges of the envelope, the flap is now up here. You can't see it, but it's up there. You pull this out, check that it is the same one, they can see that, but then they will glimpse the card. You say, hang on, there's a card inside. You reach in, slide that out, you can show them, and then reveal that it's their chosen card. There's no reason to examine the envelope. You're not making anything vanish, so there's no reason to examine that. But you can show them, you can even rip it up and throw it down. It makes no odds. But there you've got the card. Someone may want to examine the pack, which they can do. They can count them, and there'll be 51 cards. That really is the card vanished from the pack. As you can see, this whole trick, there's loads of variations on how you can perform this. You can use different methods of forcing the card. You can do different types of revelation, how you push this through the pack, maybe even play it as a game where you say, I'm going to try and place it next to your card, and then check to see, and it's not, but it turns out that it's actually in there. In fact, that would be a good one. You could say, I'm going to place my business card next to your card, and when you put this in, do the magical pass. Is that your card? No. Is that your card? No. Well, that's because when I said I'm going to put my business card next to your card, I meant literally. And then that's when you turn to reveal that their card is next to your business card, actually in the envelope. That's a pretty good revelation, I think. Anyway, I hope the idea you play around with and make a good performance of that, the classic card in sealed envelope. Till next time, guys, take care.